Namo Namaha everyone. Hi, my name is Shweta and I am the founder of Ayush for Life, Ayurvedic Holistic Wellness Center here in Kitchener-Waterloo area, Canada. Today is a very special day. Today is the first day of the month of May. This is the month where we celebrate Mother's Day, and this is the month where we are going to invite mothers, professionals from different backgrounds who are going to share their wisdom, their expertise in the holistic healing of the mother. And I'm going to invite our guest. She is a registered nurse professional over here in Canada. She's a yoga teacher and she's going to help us out. She's going to share how to prep your birth. There's a very important saying in Sanskrit verse, Hastasparsho hi matrinam jalasya jalanjalihi, which means the hands of the mother sometimes they are as soothing as when water is given to a thirsty person. So without getting further ado, let's get this rolling, and we are going to invite Kendra. She is here with us right now, and I'm going to invite Kendra. Just a moment. Kendra.
Hi.
And we have here Kendra. Welcome, Kendra. Good
Thank
morning.
you.
How are you?
I'm good, thank you. How are you?
I am doing great. I am so excited to invite you today on our platform and share your expertise, your wisdom, how to help a mother in her healing period, right? There are so many aspects when it comes to holistic healing, and one of the topic that really touched me and resonated with me was birth prepping. So since you coming from a background, you have such an intensive background on, being a medical professional over here in Canada, you're practicing, and then over the top, you have an added knowledge of yoga. You are a yoga teacher, registered yoga teacher. So tell us more about how to prep your body for uh, for birthing, because in my point it is as much important as the birthing. The prepping, the plan that goes behind the scenes is as much important in the holistic healing in the after period when the mom births the baby, right?
Definitely. I think a lot of people sometimes think, because it's a natural process and because your body has an innate wisdom that there's not necessarily a need for preparing. But it does make a difference in mental health outcomes, in connection with your baby, and just your confidence overall and ability to advocate for yourself when you are dealing with the healthcare system, as well as trying to navigate what's bringing a new life into this world and what's
Yeah,
happening to you.
yeah,
So, in preparing for your birth, it would look different for everyone, but I do find four things that I like to weave into my classes in teaching yoga would be focusing on connection with your baby, connection with your inner wisdom, so you can really tune in and know how to listen when you're going through that process of birth, and connection with other parents to be. So I don't know if you have thoughts on that
yeah,
aspect.
yeah, absolutely. I have worked with women, throughout their prenatal period, postpartum period, different ages of life, and when any um, potential, I would say, mom, she's in the first trimester. She's She doesn't know. She's a first time mom. She doesn't know how to she just knows that her urine pregnancy test is positive, and then she should be happy, but she doesn't know how to process her emotions because she cannot feel any fluttering, any kicks in the in her womb. So she is still, navigating through those emotions, right? So
Yes.
many of the women, clients, patients, they come in the first trimester and they are looking for, okay, how I can make my pregnancy healthy using Ayurveda, since I'm from an Ayurvedic background, and how should I connect with my baby because I don't feel anything. I should be feeling like this, like the media says,
Yeah.
like the society standards have, but I don't feel anything. Please help me out. Like, when should I be feeling, or how does this work? Please help me. Please provide me some resources. And then the prime principle, the first principle of yoga is to have um, just have a control on your breath, work on your breath. And breath is that unique link which will connect you with your inner body, and your body, your womb is having a baby, is having a new life, right? So I totally agree with you, Kendra. This is the experience that I had with my with my clients, with my patients who come in the first trimester. They are not feeling any kicks, and they want to feel that connection, and they are looking for other mothers who are of the same age, or who are just at the same stage of gestation just like them, and
Yeah.
they're looking for out for some companions, some peers who can help them out, who can share their feelings that, okay, they are also pregnant, they are pregnant, yay, and then they are doing their stuff.
Yes, most definitely. That connection with other parents does make a really big difference. And
Yeah, yeah,
being able
so
to
that
share with someone who understands, that's so valuable.
yeah, 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 yeah. I have so many patients coming in, and then I advise them as an Ayurvedic expert that in order to go far in your pregnancy and feel and connect, there are two aspects that you need to primarily take control of. First one is be physically active. Talk about, take care of your health, whether you are in your first trimester, second, and third, because this will prep your body as well as your mind in just birthing the baby, in having a baby. I would say, in just your body is going through so many changes in the first few weeks, and you are just researching on the internet, and there are lots and lots of stuff. Google is a big rabbit hole where you dive into one hole and then you come out of other hole having a cancer. So
Most
so
definitely.
providing them right resources where they can help, and understand what's going on anatomically, physiologically in their body, if when they are pregnant, and then mentally how to process those emotions is through breath. So pranayam is one of the limb of yoga, and it is very important to connect with your breath and your body.
Hmm.
So, talking about taking pregnancy saves pranayam, for instance, like Anulom Vilom or alternate breathing, is one of the pranayam techniques that I advise my patients who are pregnant. And it really, really increases their awareness around the pregnancy, especially the first time moms, and introduce them to the yoga. The yoga, and yoga in itself is it's vast. Like, there are so many segments to it. There are eight elements, eight limbs of yoga, and pranayam is one of those segments. To start with, they can go with pranayam, and then slowly and slowly, if they are already physical active, more power to them. Good, absolutely fine. But doing, strength first exercise based upon their strength, what their previous background is, uh, we have to kind of, uh, be very careful while you're in your, first trimester, because it's the critical period of time where the baby is growing, and the placenta is kind of take over after 12 weeks. So you have to, have those pregnancy, say, first trimester exercises if you are not used to those heavy lifting or strength training previously before getting
Yes.
pregnant. So yeah, this is what I advise them as an Ayurvedic expert.
And
So
I would
so
do the same for sure.
yeah. So talk us through, Kendra. What are the other elements that you find might be necessary um, to prep your body and mind when it comes to birth prep?
So some of the other things might be building endurance because the actual birthing process can be quite a marathon depending on your experience.
Yeah,
And even if you don't go through labor, having that endurance is helpful beyond that, like for your mental health and being able
yeah,
to roll with things. Because
yeah,
I'm going to tell you that once you become a parent, from the minute you conceive, nothing is going
yeah,
to according to plan.
yeah, yeah. Yay, high five.
Yes, woo!
Okay.
Which I mean is amazing in itself because it's becoming a parent is a very transformational journey, and having to roll with how things are is magic in itself. But
Yeah,
that's me getting off topic. So, but like building that endurance can be really helpful, but also having that awareness, that connection with your pranayam, your
yeah,
awareness with your breath, your with your body, doing
yeah,
um, this type of like asana and
yeah,
yoga.
yeah,
That makes a big difference too because you need to be able to know when it's time to be active and strong and know when it's time to surrender because the surrender is just as important as the strength aspect in the laboring process and in
yeah,
being a parent.
yeah, yeah. I agree. And here I would like to point out towards there are so many free resources on YouTube, where the creators they are just planning out a workout of first trimester, second trimester, third trimester. Um, th- these are if you are one of those moms who are more inclined towards exercises, and not yoga, then go for it. Whatever makes you feel physically active, whether it's the form of exercise or yoga, go for it. And please be aware that yoga is not exercises.
It's
Yoga asana is not meant for doing exercises. Whosoever says is lying otherwise, I would say. Yoga is not exercise. Yoga is connecting with yourself, um, and Raj Yoga, or the yoga portion that you see on social media, is the Raj Yoga, and there are so many other forms of yoga um, that are actually practiced by so many people throughout the world. So whatever you are seeing and thinking that yoga is doing certain kind of poses and exercises will is calorie burning. No, it is not. It is much more than that. So whatever inclines with you, physically, whatever, helps you gain strength, that endurance, because just like Kendra said, um, birth prepping, when you are in early labor, active labor, especially for the first time mom, it's a marathon. Like your body's carrying the baby for 9 months, and then all of a sudden it's time. There are things happening in the body that pushes the baby out, that helps the baby descend into the vaginal canal, and so and so. Like there are so many changes, and it doesn't happen like in a picosecond, in a quick of second. No, it doesn't work like that. Labor happens, and to have those waves, to absorb those contractions, those surges coming in, you need to be uh, physically strong, right? And That's why it is important not only to be physically active in the third trimester, but also in the first as well as in the second trimester, right? So I love the topic. I love the point. First, have that community because birth prep can look like different to different people. Second one is endurance, build that endurance during 9 months time. With God grace, gestation period of human babies is 9 months. It's not unlike other mammals. So, so good. 9 months we can prepare our stuff, our body and mind, definitely. And what's the third one, Kendra?
The third one is peace, because
Peace.
you need to be able to, or it's really helpful to be able to find that inner peace while amidst the chaos of the birthing process, amidst the chaos of whatever your pregnancy brings on, um, but also amidst being a parent.
Yeah,
So, call or for having self-care activities that you really enjoy and really building on that, and knowing that to be a good parent you need to take care of yourself first. So
yeah, yeah.
getting into the habit of taking care of yourself, but also knowing that your plans will change. So having that flexibility, um, and not being rigid about things, and finding the peace amidst the chaos can be super helpful and hard.
Right. I love this. That you brought a very like you straight away hit on the nail. Like setting up those realistic expectations, being, building peace, involving and, practicing those self-care practices for yourself, and knowing that after some time, my dynamics of my life will change and the baby will arrive and I have to, navigate through so many different emotions, so many different things. I will be sleep deprived. I have to, nurse the baby, and then the healing will going on. Healing will be there. Like there are so many aspects to it. So that's a good point, Kendra, that we have to, love ourselves in order to take care of others. So self-care, how can you do self-care? Anything that makes you happy, whether it's, uh, listening to good music, doing again, exercise will come in it, doing exercise, anything that helps you restore your mental health, bring that peace, listening to healing sounds. In Ayurveda, there's a full process of uh, of prepping your body before you conceive, and then when you conceive in the prenatal period, there's always garb sanskara. So Garb Sanskar is an Ayurvedic process where you are giving positive vibes, positive energy to your baby in the womb. And that's how, when you talk about peace, the pregnant women ideally should be listening to some of the uh, mantra that hits, her aura, while she's carrying a second life with her, all those mantra, they give that positive energy to the baby in the womb as well. So that's one of the points that I wanted to share. So yes, there are mantras. Again, you can research on YouTube. It's called Garb Kavach, and there are free resources available on YouTube. If you are someone who wants to have those positive energy vibes and mantra for your unborn baby, listen to those mantra like in a loop when you're that will give you peace, that will give you, it's just like meditating, right? Giving yourself that time. And this is also one of the ways of connecting with your baby, with your baby in the womb. So again, beautifully simplified for our audience. Thank you so much, Kendra, that have that peace portion in your mind because things are going to get changed as the baby arrives. Thank you. And
Well, thank
what's
you.
the next point that you would like to share?
Just that, I mean, I obviously teach yoga, so that's like what the viewpoint I'm coming from. But I found it very interesting, and I really appreciated that you said that it may not be yoga for you. Like
Yeah,
yoga might be for you when you're pregnant, or it may not be,
yeah,
and it really does look different. There are so many different practices that you could just do the listening to mantra, or you know, having someone share a mantra with you to practice while you're pregnant can be so amazing. Um, or it could look like a very physically active practice, but most
yeah,
likely it's going to go from a very slow practice to an active practice,
yeah,
or change as the days go on. For me, I
yeah,
did find that walking was actually the best thing when I was pregnant. I did
yeah.
walking and I did nidra, and that was essentially
Beautiful.
it because the I have a lot of hypermobility, and it just uh, wasn't with the twin pregnancy, wasn't a lot of the asana wasn't supportive. So
Yeah,
it is
yeah,
different for everyone. And even though I teach yoga, that was my experience. So
yeah, yeah. And yoga is for everyone, and in a very unique way, you need to connect with your body. And for you, if it was movement, it was something, walking in your pregnancy, then go for it. Any moms who, you know, and if you are exploring yoga, as a medium of gaining peace and endurance, then it's a different thing. You need to try something before you can reject it.
mhm.
But if you already know that you don't like yoga, then don't go for it. Like don't practice it. I would say as simple as that. Even though I'm a, my background is from Ayush system of medicine. I'm an Ayurvedic expert, and you being a yoga expert, I would still say those who do not like it and who do not like, feel any difference, then all the power to you. Opt for other resources. You need to bring that positive experience with regards to pregnancy, with regards to birthing. So all these things, they bring positive experience. In my clinical practice for over a decade now, I have found that so many, moms, they won't be very physically active in the first trimester and second,
Mhm.
but altogether they start being physically active in the third trimester. Uh, Better than nothing.
Yes.
But I would still say, who are listening to me and who are still in their first trimester or second trimester, uh, be physically active. That will really help you out in gaining that strength and having that endurance when it comes to labor and it comes to birthing your baby. Yeah, so all these were I love the all those points, having peace, having self-care time, having building that endurance, prepping your birth. And I see that, nowadays people they build their nursery, so that's also a part of their, prepping of the birth. Now they buy so many items as the baby arrives. So um, there will be a car seat, there will be a stroller. These are the big ones I
Yeah.
see here. And then, of course, with the clothes and toys and whatnot, when the baby's nurseries, they're prepping their birth. This is also part of, I would say, prepping your birth when you are, actually connecting your mind that, okay, there will be another person over here after so and so date, right?
Yeah.
Like after these weeks, after these months, right? So good point, good touch points. I really loved it, Kendra. And I'm so thankful that you came here today. You shared all your, all your wisdom about how to prep your birth, and I understand this because prepping your birth, if your body and mind are set, it becomes much more easier when it comes to the healing in the postpartum period. So when you have prepped your body, uh, in a way where you had your baby unmedicated, no matter how the events turn, unmedicated, and if you are preferring that and you had that, depending upon how your pelvic floor is healing, And if you were physically active, if you did the perineal massage in the 8th month onwards, if you did that, there is lesser chance of uh, getting stitches after birthing the baby vaginally. So that's one, of course. And taking care of yourself while you have taken care of yourself in the prenatal period, it becomes utmost important if you also take care in the postpartum period. So definitely
Totally.
these prenatal and the postpartum time, they are connected, right? In between is the baby. So I totally agree that prepping your birth will be very quintessential in part of your bigger journey, having a baby. So, any last thoughts before we wrap up this session, Kendra?
Um,
Uh,
I don't think so. I think that
I,
was sums it up.
okay, okay. Thank you so much. Then I will be saying goodbye to our dear audiences, and we will be coming up with another expert next week, same time, uh, and we will be dedicating all of these episodes to our mothers. Thank you so much, Kendra, for joining us today. And I wish you well. Uh, have a great day, everyone. Great night who are joining us from other time zones. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me.